Welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about for loops in Python. Let's first define a term that is called iterable. Many objects in Python are iterable. That means that we can iterate over the object, or in other words, we can go through each element in that object and then do something while we're at it. For example, we can go through every element in a list or every character in a string. Here we have some examples with a list of numbers. The list is an iterable. That means that we can go through each of the numbers in this list. And if I have a string instead, it means that I can go through each of the characters in this string. And as I go through it, I can do something with Python. And to do something, we can use for loops. So we can use for loops to do something as we iterate over the object, and by do something I mean, of course, execute some code. So how does this work? Let's say we have an iterable with numbers, in this case a list. The structure to write a for loop is to say for, and here we have item, in this case in my list, colon, do something. In this case, we just print item. So for and in are keywords that we need for the structure of the for loop. This word item here is a variable. It's basically a placeholder that will represent the elements of my iterable. And then we can do something. And after the in, we need the iterable. If we go ahead and execute this code, we will see that Python goes through each item in the list and then prints the values here. So let's look at this with some examples. Okay, let's check out some examples of for loops in Python. Let's say we have a list. I have my list equals a series of numbers, say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's it. I have my list. And now I want to iterate over those numbers and just print them out. So I will say for num in my list. And then notice that Python already indents the code that follows in the loop. So everything that is at this indentation will be executed as we iterate over the elements of my list. In this case, I'm going to say print num. If we execute this, we're going to see that Python iterated over the numbers in my list and then printed them out. Now, something that I want to highlight is that this num is a variable name. It could be whatever. So if I put dog here, for example, and then I put it here again, and I execute the code, I get again the same result. So this is the placeholder that will represent the elements in my list. And then I can do something with this variable or not. For example, I can also do something else irrelevant of that item. For example, I can go ahead and print Python is cool. If I do that, now I get for every element in the list, I will just have the string printed. Now, if I want to print Python is cool 100 times, I don't really need a list that is this long. We can use something in Python that is called range. So say I want to print Python is cool 5 times. I just say for number in range of 5, print Python is cool. And there you go. Now we can do more interesting things with Python loops. For example, let's execute some code that is more interesting. Say that we have my sum that is 0. And now I want to add the elements of my list. So I'm going to say for num in my list. And now I want to add these numbers to my sum. So I'm going to say my sum equals my sum, whatever is in there, plus num. And now I'm going to print out the result. Here I have 15. So what happened here is that for every number in my list, it added the number to the content of my sum that at the beginning was 0, but as we went over the loop, it grew by the addition of these numbers. So for example, it was 0 plus 1, and then 1. In the next iteration, my sum was 1, and number was 2, so 1 plus 2 is 3. And then in the next iteration, my sum is 3, so 3 plus 3 is 6, and so on. Now, this is something important. Because this print statement was outside the loop, something happened in the loop, and then I just saw the result. Now, if this print statement had been inside the loop, then this command would have been executed each time. And here we see what happens. So now it adds 1 to 0, and then it adds 2 to 1, that is 3, then it will add 3 to 3, so that is 6, and so on. So we can iterate over any iterable in Python. So say, for example, that we have now a string, which is, in this case, hello world. So now I can iterate for letter in my string. Go ahead and print letter. And if I execute this code, I will see the letters of my string. Now we can do perhaps something a little bit more exciting. If letter equals O, and here column again, then print letter. And if I execute this, it will just print the letter if it is an O, and if not, it skips it. We haven't seen if loops yet. We will discuss that in the next video, but here is some additional logic that we can throw in the loop to make more complex syntaxes. The last thing that I'm going to show you is how to iterate over tuples. Let's say that we have my tup, which is a series of tuples. So I have 1 and 2 here. Then I have 3 and 4. And then I have 5 and 6. So there you go. I have a list with 3 tuples. Now I can go ahead and say for tup in my tup, go ahead and print tup. And if I execute this, I will see the items in my list, which are the tuples. Now this isn't very exciting, but this takes us to tuple unpacking, which in Python, basically we can reach out to each element of that tuple also through a for loop through unpacking. So here I can say element 1, comma, element 2. And then here, instead of printing tuple, I will print element 1 and then element 2. Here you see. So we have each of the elements next to each other. I can also just print the sum, for example. Or if I want, I can print one of the elements. So as you can see, we can start making some interesting things by making use of for loops. That is all for now. I will see you in the next video.